We are really honored to have here today at a Wine Pass stand at the Alba Truffle Fair a special guest. He is the Piedmont guy. We cannot know his real name, not for now at least, but he's a great ambassador of Piedmont in the world, in particularly in the United States. And we'd like to ask him some questions about Piedmont in the world. And I mean, the first question that comes to my mind is, what is the perception of the brand Piedmont around the world? And what is our, let's say, competitive advantage with respect to other wine regions in the world?
The best thing Piedmont has going for it is that it makes the best wines in Italy. And there's a small group of people that really understand that. But the people that understand are passionate, they're important for the wine world, and they're good at making the small group of people that really care about wine understand. The difficulty for Piedmont is that it is small, and there's a lot of competition, and the wines are at price points that are, compared to most of the wine in the world, high. So the people that are exposed to them are few. But it's a region, in my opinion, that's growing amongst the connoisseurs in America.
And how do you know about Piedmont?
I used to sell Piedmont wines in America, and I moved to Italy. I moved to Piedmont for 4 years to work in a winery. And I spent 2 of those years in a cellar, and then 2 of those years working as an export manager for this winery in Asia, the United States, and Scandinavia. So I got to see really the world of production, which I really wanted. When you're an American, you hear about how wine's made, but to be in a cellar is another thing. The information about Piedmont is still arriving. What is Canubi? What is Brunate? What is Rocca di Castiglionfalletto? If you asked 100 wine people to name 10 vineyards, 10 could do it. And they're good wine people, they just don't have the exposure. In Burgundy, everyone can name 10, and this is the difference. Piedmont has to work as a whole to make themselves known. I think any time a region begins to develop journalism and press and money, people tend to not work together, they tend to split. And it's not Piemontese, it's not Bordelaise, it's not Burgundaise, it's normal. But when people come together to really do a tasting, even if people love someone else's wine in the beginning, in the end they understand Piemonte better, and that's good for Piedmont. So I represent wineries that I get to choose my wineries. I think they are the best in Piemonte. If somebody doesn't understand my wine, the fact that they start to understand Piedmont, for me, that's the beginning. Because I believe that when they really start to understand, they will come back to my producers. So I really believe that the people that travel, the people that give not biased information, talk really about where the best vineyards are. Talk really about what it takes to make great wine, not fashion. In the end, it will help everyone.
As you probably know, Wine Pass has the mission to let people discover Piemonte, winery by winery, itinerary by itinerary, with insider knowledge. So I'd like to ask you, what are some places that I mean you particularly appreciate in Piemonte? Some luoghi del cuore, as we would say in Italian.
I'm afraid to tell them, because if everybody goes, then no, but when it comes to food, the level is so high. I mean, really, it's one of the things I miss living again in the United States. Whether, honestly, the Auto Grill or even La Ciao di Tornavento, you can find a quality level that's great. For me, when I get to come here, I have so little time now that I really choose the places I love the most. So I see Maurilio, at Ciao di Tornavento, I eat the finiziera. For me, it's Fino del Mondo. I love the wines at Felicine with Nino. I mean, they're really one of the great cellars that's been preserved for a long time. That's really fun for me to get to taste these wines that have been And then in each of the villages, there are little ostarias. I think that you eat really well. You know, I went to last night. I went to Schiavenza in Serralunga. Yeah. I ate the plin. Wow. It's incredible, no? And the porcini that are now fresh. And this is just one of many. And I could say in each village, a handful that I really like. So the food, the restaurants, chapeau off.
And in terms of landscape?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something you have to see to understand, no? When I try to tell people what is Piedmont, I tell them about, you know, on one hill you have a castle, and from that castle you have these vineyards that come down. So when people come, it's a wow. I think there are some areas that people don't know so well. Alta Langhe. I love the Alta Langhe. You know, Roqueverano. You start to drive through these hills, and there's still, it's wild, you know? And I think that that's fun. If I had more time, I would spend more time in the proximity of that. And then there, of course, are the unexplored regions of Piedmont, you know, Gattinare, Gemme, Lessona.
The northern area.
Yes, of course. The northern areas, you have a lot of really interesting things happening wine-wise, which is interesting for me, but also culture is diverse, the food is diverse, the people, Piedmont changes so much based on where you are. That's part of the beauty of it.
And what do you think about this vintage?
I think 2013 is interesting. I think that I like vintages where the harvest arrives later. I think this is a little technical, but I think for Nebbiolo, for the tannins, more time on vine allows ripeness of tannin, which I really think is an important thing. Warmer vintages tend to have less ripeness, and then the wines tend, in my opinion, to have less elegance. So for me, when these classic vintages happen, it's exciting.
Yeah, also because in terms of marketing, we had a lot of really warm vintages.
Yes.
And now something probably is going to be different in this year. And you think that this, let's say, discontinuity is going to be a problem or a potential selling point?
I think that it's a good thing. I think these are the kind of vintages. Okay, take a vintage like 2002 to 94, 93, vintages where they're really hail or flood. They happen, and these are things. But this is a vintage that the grapes are healthy. You know, the time that's passed, there's been cold weather, there's been scary time, but in the end, the grapes are good. And the harvest is late, and I think that the quality level is really Piemontese. It's good, classic quality. And I think in the end, again, this is the best for marketing of Piedmont wines, because it's true Piemonte wine.
And the market is ready for true Piemonte wines.
My customers are ready.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Francesco.